Thursday, April 17th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Another pretty chilly start to the day all around the region. There's another look this morning at the webcam up in Banner Elk. The temperature there this morning, warmer than yesterday, but still quite cold, sitting at 24 degrees, the wind chill of 19. Now let's check the highs across the region yesterday. Certainly very cool by mid-April standards. Almost every observing site outside of the mountains in North Carolina in the 50s. A little bit milder down in Columbia at 61. And it's another pretty cold morning out there this morning, down to 35 in Greensboro, 34 in Raleigh, 40 in Charlotte, 35 in Fayetteville. Many spots away from the bigger cities. The traditionally colder spots are down at or below freezing again this morning. Around the region, though, now when I showed you this map yesterday morning, you had a lot of temperatures that were in the low to mid 30s, maybe some upper 30s as well across the southeast. Temperatures warmer this morning, and that's a sign that this cold air beginning to slowly modify a bit here across the southeastern part of the country, and it will be a little bit of a milder day today compared to yesterday. Radar very quiet, but we do have that freeze warning remaining in effect for most of the Piedmont and into parts of South Carolina too, at those temperatures close to freezing in many spots across the area. But again, very quiet all around the southeastern part of the country. You have some snow up in the Great Lakes. That's with a system that'll stay well to our north. But moisture beginning to pool down in the Gulf of Mexico. And that is where our next storm system will begin to form and head our way over the next 48 hours. Now, today very quiet. No problems at all. We're going to be looking at a good deal of sunshine out there as we go through the day. Maybe a few more high clouds today compared to yesterday, but really still a very nice weather day overall. And still a mostly clear sky around most of the region tonight, although certainly clouds begin the process of building on in, both from the Atlantic and from our next system down to the Gulf of Mexico. So here's how this plays out for us. Again, no weather problems out there for today. But there goes that developing area of low pressure, and the models are now in much better agreement on that wetter scenario from especially tomorrow night into portions of Saturday. So watch what happens here with that low pressure. Here we go by tomorrow late afternoon, rain spreading on in across parts of the Carolinas. And then we're looking at a pretty wet go of it Friday night into at least Saturday morning as that low pressure moves near the coast. The GFS model, actually now the wettest of the computer models, it is completely flipped from a dry scenario across most of the central and western Carolinas yesterday to now the very wet scenario being indicated there on the GFS. So let me show you some of the projected rain totals from the various models. This is the RPM. And certainly it looks like as you get into central and eastern parts of the Carolinas, that's where the heaviest rain totals will be. The big question mark here is going to be how far to the north and west will this band of a heavier precip extend? Most of the modeling brings it at least up toward the I-85 corridor, and many spots even all the way back to the mountains. So again, that's the RPM. Here's the GFS. Even back toward the mountains, over an inch of rain being indicated. The European, lighter totals in the mountains, but still, when you get close to I-85, you get totals of around an inch or better. So again, most of this rain occurring Friday night and into Saturday morning, some lingering light rain into Saturday afternoon. But good news for Easter Sunday, that low pressure slowly pulling away, high pressure over the northeast building in here, so sunshine returns with time Sunday. And it will be a much drier setup than what we're going to see from tomorrow night through the day on Saturday. So this is what it looks like at the upper levels today. This is the beginnings of that next system. Doesn't look terribly impressive here as we get into this afternoon. But look what happens by the time you get to Saturday afternoon. You turn into a big cutoff upper air low across the southeast. And that's a pretty good setup to get some good rains across a good chunk of the region. Sure enough, that's what you see being indicated on the European model. And most models, frankly. That's look at Friday early evening, and then you get through the night. There goes the rain spreading through a good chunk of the Carolinas, and then slowly working offshore as you get towards Saturday night and Sunday morning. Now here's the GFS. This is the 0Z run, and again, it is pretty aggressive with the rain building throughout the region. That's Saturday morning's map, and then again, it pulls away with a pretty good setup for us on Easter Sunday. Finally, the Canadian model, looking quite wet as well. There we are Saturday morning. This is Saturday evening, early in the evening, and then by Easter Sunday, still indicating some lingering light rain on the Canadian model down into southern North Carolina, much of South Carolina. That is probably a bit overdone. I'm going to stick with a mainly dry forecast for most of the region Easter Sunday. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.